No GPS, no INS, no radio signals. Iran says its fighter pilots went into the skies over the Gulf almost completely dark, relying on visual navigation, map reading, and basic guidance techniques to carry out a high-risk mission against US-run bases. And according to an Iranian Air Force commander, that lack of electronic emissions may have been the operation's biggest advantage. Iranian Air Force Deputy Coordinator Brigadier General Masoud Jafari says operating without sophisticated navigation systems was not improvised. He says Iranian pilots had spent years preparing to conduct missions despite technological limitations, learning to rely on basic navigation while avoiding electronic emissions that could reveal their presence.
We have become accustomed to operating under sanctions. Our Air Force pilots have learned to fly missions without GPS or INS, relying instead on map reading and basic navigation techniques. The Air Force went so far as to practice flying the fighters in different operations without GPS, without INS, using visual navigation and basic guidance systems.
The F-15E Strike Eagles is the fastest aircraft currently in the United States.
But Jafari says navigation was only one part of the strategy. The bigger advantage, according to the Iranian commander, was what the aircraft didn't transmit. He claims the pilots deliberately operated without radio transmissions or other electronic emissions, potentially making the aircraft harder to detect or track electronically.
And perhaps our trump card was that we had absolutely no signal, not even an outgoing radio signal from our aircraft. Perhaps on the first day they did not think that the Air Force would have the audacity to carry out such an operation.
Jafari was describing Iran's reported March-skinned operations against US-run facilities in the region. Iran says its aircraft targeted Al-Udeid Air Base in Qatar and the Al-Adiri base in Kuwait. And the Iranian commander claims the element of surprise was critical. According to Jafari, American and Allied defenses did not expect Iranian aircraft to come so close to heavily protected US positions.
So that when Kuwait Air Base was targeted, their air defense systems only then went on alert. And on the return leg, from the American aircraft that were returning, either to Kuwait or, most likely, intending to land in Saudi Arabia, that is, there was friendly fire, so that the American aircraft simultaneously in the skies over Kuwait came under fire from the Patriots and the Kuwaiti air defense.
Then comes the most explosive allegation in the entire account. Jafari claims the defensive response turned into a deadly case of friendly fire. According to the Iranian commander, 3 American F-15E Strike Eagle fighters were shot down by Kuwaiti air defenses as aircraft returned from the operation. That claim has not been independently established in the material available for this report and should be treated as an Iranian allegation.
Perhaps they did not think this either. In other words, it seemed unlikely to them that anyone would dare to come this close, and these operations were carried out successfully, thanks to God.
Iran is now presenting the operation as an example of asymmetric warfare, using technological limitations as part of the strategy. The Iranian Air Force says years of sanctions forced its pilots to learn how to operate without GPS, INS, and conventional communications. And Tehran's argument is that the absence of sophisticated technology did not necessarily make the mission weaker. Instead, Iran says, going dark may have helped its aircraft get close enough to strike before the defenses knew what was happening.